I tested Mistral 7B, Mistral Mixture of Experts model, and Mistral Medium in a fight to the death to see which model was the best.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Now, you're not going to believe which model won the Battle Royale, and it's not the one you think. Alright, so we're going to test these models here by Mistral AI by asking them a series of just 5 questions. Each question is going to touch on a different topic. So the first question is going to be a logic question. The second question is going to be a history question. A third question will be data analysis. Next, we'll go into a creative writing exercise. And then last will be a simple programming question. So the first question is a logic question, and the logic question goes like this. If Alex goes dancing, then Betty goes dancing. If Betty goes dancing, then Charlie goes dancing. If Charlie goes dancing, then Daniel does not go dancing. If Daniel goes dancing, then Ellen does not go dancing. We know that Alex goes dancing. Which of the answers is true? And then it's multiple choice. So A, Betty does not go dancing. B, Charlie does not go dancing. C, Daniel does not go dancing. D, Ellen does not go dancing. Or E, Ellen does go dancing. So let's pop it over here to our Mistral model and see what they come up with. So here I just created a basic chat interface here, and it's calling the models here that I have running in text generation web UI. So let's ask Mistral 7B the logic question and see what it comes up with the answer. Alright, it says the answer is E. Unfortunately, that is not correct. The actual correct answer is C, Daniel does not go dancing. So this is a fail. Let's go to the next model. Here we're going to ask the same question to the Mistral Mixture of Experts model and see what it says. And the answer here, they have D, Ellen does not go dancing. Again, that's incorrect. It does explain its reasoning here. However, this reasoning is not correct. The correct answer is C, Daniel does not go dancing. And last, let's do the Mistral Medium model and ask it the exact same question and see what it comes back with. And this says that the answer is D, Ellen does not go dancing. Unfortunately, that is also incorrect, so all of the models got this one wrong. For reference, ChatGPT was able to answer this correctly and give us the correct answer of C. So now let's go back to the Mistral 7B model and ask it some history questions. The first one we're going to ask is just simple: who was the president of the US in 1992? And the answer, the president of the US in 1992 was Bill Clinton. This is incorrect. The correct answer is actually George H.W. Bush. So the next question we're going to ask it is, what year did the US declare its independence? The US declared its independence on July 4th, 1776. That is correct. So let's go to the next model. This got a 1 out of 2. So for the Mixture of Experts model, again, we'll ask it, who was the president of the US in 1992? And this is correct that it was George H.W. Bush. And then we'll ask it, what year did the US declare its independence? And it got it correct, July 4th, 1776. And last, we'll go to the Mistral Medium model, and again, ask it, who was the president in 1992? And this got it correct, George H.W. Bush. And we'll ask it, in what year did the US declare its independence? And this answer, it also got it correct, July 4th, 1776. So Mistral Medium and the Mixture of Experts model pass. The Mistral 7B got the president wrong, but it did get the US year that it declared its independence. Next, we'll do some data analysis. So for this question, we're going to have a table of data, and we're just going to ask it to report the sales trend over the year. So Mistral 7B comes back and says, based on the given data in the table, the sales in units show an increasing trend over the year, which is correct. The number of units sold has been increasing month by month, with some fluctuations but an overall upward trend. That is correct. The smallest number of units sold was in July with 1,500 units, which is actually tied with January, so that is correct. while the highest number of units sold was in November with 2,500 units, which is incorrect because the highest would be December with 3,000 units that we have here. So there is some inconsistencies there with the Mistral 7B model. Now let's go over to the Mixture of Experts and ask it the same exact question. Alright, so it responded with an answer, and it says, based on the data provided, the sales in units trend over the year increased overall with some fluctuation. Here's a summary of the trend, giving us a month-by-month increase or decrease. And then it says, so the sales in units trend started with a slight decrease from January to February, followed by an increase in March, then some fluctuations until November, and ended with a significant increase in December. And now we'll go to the Mistral Medium model and again ask it for the sales trend. And here we go for the answer. It says, based on the given data, the sales in units trended as follows over the year. The sales in units started at 1,500 in January, then slightly decreased in February and increased again to 1,800 in March. There was a slight decrease in sales in April to 1,600 units, followed by a slight increase in May to 2,000 units. In June, however, there was a slight decrease in sales to 1,700 and then another decrease in July to 1,500. However, the sales rebounded in August with 1,900 units sold and further increased in September to 2,100 units. There was another increase in October to 2,300 units and then a significant increase in November to 2,500 units. Sales reached their peak for the year in December with 3,000 units sold. Overall, the sales in units showed a general upward trend throughout the year with some fluctuations along the way. So this is a pass for Mistral Medium and the Mixture of Experts model. However, Mistral 7B was a little inconsistent, missing the December sales as the biggest month of the year. Now we're going to go into the creative writing exercise. So this is just a simple prompt here. Write a short story set in the future where humanity has colonized Mars. And for Mistral 7B, let's see what it says. And here we go. This is actually a pretty lengthy short story titled Red Dawn. In the year 2135, the crimson horizon of Mars beheld the site of a thriving human civilization. The once barren and inhospitable planet had been transformed into a beacon of progress and innovation. The gleaming domes of New Air City shimmered under the Martian sun, casting long shadows that stretched across the rust-colored sand. So this is actually pretty good. I'm going to mark it as a pass, and we'll go on over to the Mixture of Experts model. Alright, here's our answer. And again, we got another one. In the year 2145, Mars has become humanity's second home. The red planet was no longer a barren wasteland, but a bustling hub of human civilization. Again, I'm going to mark this as a pass, as it's pretty good. And last, we'll do the Mistral Medium model. Again, write a short story set in the future where humanity has colonized Mars. And here's the answer. Very similar to the Mixture of Experts model. Again, the year is also the same. Was 2145 the year of the first one too? 2135. And they all have a Dr. Amelia, whether it's Amelia Thompson, Amelia Hart, and in Mistral Medium, we also have Amelia Hart. So I'm going to mark it as a pass, and you can see how similar each one of these models generates as a result to the exact same prompt. And then our last test here is going to be our programming question, which we're going to do write the game tic-tac-toe in Python. So let's go with the small Mistral 7B model and see what it says. Alright, it says here's a simple implementation of tic-tac-toe game in Python. And I'm just going to take this code and I'll copy and paste it into my code editor. And then at the end of each one, we'll just run the code. So now we'll ask the exact same thing of the Mixture of Experts model, write the game tic-tac-toe in Python. This does not look correct, so let's ask it again. Maybe it's just a one-time error. Okay, here we go. I'll copy this code and put it in my text editor, and then we can run them here in a minute. And then lastly, we'll go to Mistral Medium. write the game tic-tac-toe in Python, and let's see what it says. Okay, let's copy this and put it into our code editor. All right, and now let's run them. All right, so I have the code in here for the Mistral 7B model. I have my terminal pulled up so you guys can see it on the screen. And so we'll just run this file. We got a nice board here. Enter your move, row, column. So I'm going to say 2, row 2, column 2 to go in the middle. It looks like it's outputting 2 boards here, and I'm not really sure where it's putting me. So this looks like it's going to be a fail. Well, let's keep playing. Row 1, column 1. That seems to put me in the middle. I'm not sure how to get into the top left here. Can we do 0, 0? Or row 1, column 0? Somehow that put us into the second row. Let's try row 1, column 2. Hey, and we won. So this is a fail. It looks like it's double printing the boards. So I'm going to mark this as a fail. However, it did give us a rudimentary implementation that you could probably fix if you took some look at the code. So let's clear it out and let's go to the Mixture of Experts model. Again, let me bring down this terminal here. Here's the code that we just pasted in, copy and pasted it right from the response, and let's give it a run. And here we go. Looks like we have a board here. I'm not sure, how do we know the row? Looks like it's okay, it's 1 through 9. So we're going to go ahead and place our move at 5, so we're right in the middle for X. Oh, and now we get to choose player O, so we'll put the move of 1. Player X will do 2. Player O, again, we'll just say 3, and we'll cap it off here and see if X can win it here with the move of 8. And we won. So this is a pass. Looks like it works pretty well. Okay, let's look at the Mistral Medium model here. Again, the exact code that I pasted in looks very similar to the Mixture of Experts model. So let's go ahead and give it a run here. Let me pull up my terminal, give it a run. Again, we get the same board. So we'll go X, we'll go spot 1, O will go spot 2, X will go to 5, O will go to 3, and X will win the game at spot 9. And hey, it says player X wins. So there you go. To recap, Mistral 7B did struggle. It is also the smallest model. It struggled with the logic question. Well, they all failed the logic question, but it also struggled with the history question as well. However, the larger models, the Mixture of Experts and the Mistral Medium model, did perform well on all the other tasks. So take it with a grain of salt, depending on the use of your application and whether you need a larger model or you can run with a smaller model. However, do know that there are going to be some discrepancies and inaccuracies. Now that you know which Mistral model is the best to use, you're going to want to see how I had AI help me with my finances. See, I set up this simple workflow with AI and Zapier, and you're not going to believe the results I got. So check out this video here where I show you how to set this up and get your finances sorted on autopilot. And I'll see you in the next video.